My name is Selena, and the legal issue that I will be covering is sexual harassment in the workplace. To begin, there are two main forms of sexual harassment in the workplace, known as a hostile work environment and quid pro quo. A hostile work environment refers to the repeatedness of sexual remarks or comments towards an individual that makes the workplace feel hostile and overall interferes with their job and makes them feel uncomfortable. Quid pro quo actually refers to when someone, typically of higher authority, asks an individual for sexual favors in exchange for a benefit, like a promotion, or the opposite, such as threatening to terminate the employee, a loss of benefits, just some kind of job-related loss. Sexual harassment in the workplace is a form of sex and employee discrimination, and it actually violates the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. It's a legal issue that often gets overlooked or not even reported. According to umass.edu, about 5 million employees get sexually harassed every year. The majority of sexual harassment victims never file formal charges, and for those that do, very few actually go to court. Along with that, there have been multiple cases where the victims of sexual harassment receive retaliation instead of the actual offender. It's a way for employers to kind of solve these issues and these complaints by altogether ridding the victim from the job. A case such as that one, for example, was in November of 2017 in Orlando, Florida, regarding a woman named Jerome who worked at Chipotle. At the beginning of March 2018, Jerome began receiving unwanted sexual harassment from another employee named Avila. It began as verbal harassment, such as making inappropriate comments about her body, her physical appearance, and things in that nature. Shortly after, the verbal conduct quickly turned into physical conduct, which included the offender, Avila, rubbing herself up against Jerome and inappropriately groping her. In April of 2018, Jerome had complained to restaurant management on 4 separate occasions regarding Avila's harassment. The EEOC, which stands for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, claims that Chipotle did not investigate Jerome's complaints or enforce any disciplinary action against Avila, basically allowing for it to continue since proper action was not taken. To top that off, in May of 2018, Jerome notified the general manager of 2 other occasions where she was sexually assaulted. The general manager said it would be investigated, but Jerome wanted to forward her complaints to corporate office since nothing was actually being investigated or looked into. 3 days after notifying the general manager that she would actually be contacting corporate office due to the management's failure of investigating what was going on, Chipotle terminated Jerome's employment. Because of cases similar to Jerome's, sexual assault victims are afraid of coming forward and filing such complaints in fear of receiving punishment or retaliation themselves. It's important and relevant for employers to take complaints seriously and allow a safe place for employees to address inappropriate conduct, whether they are the victim themselves or a bystander. Sexual harassment in general is a violation towards an individual, but in a workplace there can be more obstacles causing hesitation when there simply shouldn't be. Every employee deserves fair treatment in the workplace, and establishing certain policies and believing in them are helpful tools in preventing inappropriate behavior in the workplace. Addressing to employees what sexual harassment is, what to do if an individual experiences sexual harassment or witnesses it, training employees on how to report incidents, explaining how investigations are carried out, and what help can be given to the victim of sexual harassment are all things to train and inform them on due to the prevalence of these cases. Providing equal and fair treatment should be a top priority for workplaces in all aspects, not only for legal standards, but for the employees and individuals themselves.